it's been a little while since I posted. I was super unmotivated. I didn't want to really do anything except for lay in bed. I'm always one that I'm super self-motivated, and so to me that's really scary when I can't get myself up and working. And so I think I go back and forth between not wanting to do anything and becoming a workaholic. And this channel, to me, when I was going through that super sad time, was just like a creative outlet that I found that made me feel happy. And I am so thankful that I have created this to be that way. And I'm so grateful that you guys like it as well, and it's helping you at the same time. But for this video, I wanted to talk to those of you who maybe don't have a support system that understands your mental illness or your mental health. And that can be really detrimental to your mental health if people don't either believe what you're going through, or they don't care, or they just think that it's made up in your head. And that's something that I know a lot of people struggle with. And it makes me really sad that anybody going through this may not have people who listen when they're struggling. And so I want you to know that not only do I listen, but I also hear you and I understand you. I know that what you're going through is not easy, and every single day to get out of bed to brush your teeth is a struggle. And sometimes your anxiety can hit you at the worst times when you are not expecting it, when you are super excited about something, or maybe something's cost a lot of money and you want to do it, but your body just tells you no. Your mind makes you feel like that's the last thing you'd ever do, and even if it was the end of the world, you still wouldn't be able to do it. And I get that, and that's okay. You can feel that way. I don't think any less of you because of that, because you have a brain that tells you that you can't do things sometimes. And as much as that's not true, when you have a brain that tells you that, you think it is. And so I just want to tell you that it's okay, that it will pass, that if you need help, you should get it. No matter how many people tell you you're just making it up or you don't really need help, continue to seek that help, even if it's very hard, because it's something that will pass. And sometimes we just need a little help to get there, but once we do, it's going to be so wonderful and you're going to feel so much better afterwards. And it's going to turn the dark clouds to a rainbow that you never expected could ever exist when you're in that situation. And that's something that people who don't go through mental illness understand, that we can turn from being so unmotivated, so unhappy, to being like a great big burst of sunshine, and then it can switch back again. And it's hard for us to wrap our heads around that as well, but for me, I've come to the realization that we just need to be grateful for the times when our brain is allowing us to be on that happy mindset and to live the life that we know we should be living. And the days where the darkness floods, we hold on tight and we say, this is not going to let us stop our path in this life. It's going to slow us down, that's for sure, but it won't ever stop us from being who we're meant to be. We're just on a slower path than others because it takes us a little longer, and it's harder to get in a good positive mindset all the time. I know mental illness can be really isolating, especially when you have people who don't believe what you are going through or don't understand it, and that's the hardest thing to try to explain to somebody, that your head is telling you that you don't want to go any further, or you can't handle some simple tasks. And to me, for being someone who understands, I want to tell you that every little thing you do deserves congratulations, because getting out of bed, stepping your feet out of bed, clap for yourself. Brushing your teeth, give yourself a high five. Give yourself a smile, look in the mirror and say, I did it. Because yes, those are things that people who don't deal with mental illness can do easily. But people who do have mental illness, we don't necessarily have those abilities all the time. And it doesn't matter how silly it sounds, it's true. And I think when we start to appreciate ourselves for continuing on, when the people who don't deal with this don't have to deal with it, they don't have to ever struggle in this way, and that just makes us warriors. And I think the people who put us down for having depression and anxiety don't understand that we are full of strength. It's not that we are weak. It is that we are made of strength and we are made of resilience, and we know what it feels like to fight every day for our lives. It's not something that comes easy to us. It's little tasks seem like we have to move mountains, but we move those mountains. We continue to get up every day and move those mountains. For the people who never deal with this, never have to move mountains, will they ever be as strong as us? I don't know. But to me, that makes us real warriors who never give up, who never let the mountains stop us from continuing on our path. So if nobody's told you today, you are incredibly strong. If nobody's told you ever, you deserve the life you want because you're fighting for it. You are so worthy of anything you want because every single day is a battle for you. A battle that you win. And sometimes, you lay in bed and you don't do anything and you succumb to the darkness. But if you wake up the next morning and you fight it, you've still won. Like I said, our path may go a little slower. We may walk instead of run. We may crawl instead of walk. But that doesn't mean that we will never get there. That doesn't mean that our mental illness wins. It doesn't mean we're weak. It doesn't mean we're unworthy. It doesn't mean we're selfish or lazy. You deserve the life that you fought for every day. You deserve to wake up with a smile on your face and say, today, the darkness doesn't win, and tomorrow will be incredible. Tomorrow, the darkness won't even come. So please, if you have ever wanted somebody to understand you and felt like your family or your friends just push it to the side and don't really care, don't really know what you're saying, so they don't really listen, I do. I hear you. I understand you. And in my head, you look like a goddamn warrior. Because you are one. Not just because you've put on this act, this persona. Because you, in your heart, is pure gold. Your shoulders carry the world at times. And your head feels like boulders have crushed it. But you got out of that rubble. You stood up. And you smiled. You looked up at the sky. Because you knew that you'd survive. Because you've done it before and you'll do it again. You are so freaking magical. Not because we're in some fantasy fairy tale, but because despite how much our minds tell us we can't win, we can't live, we can't survive, we do every time. It's not magic. It's persistence. It's strength. And it's all in you.